Welcome back to Symbiotic Vibration, everybody, and welcome to episode 11 of A Survivor's Guide to Survival. If you're new here, A Survivor's Guide to Survival is a series that I'm developing. I had a brain tumor when I was in my early 20s. I'm Evan, by the way, and I would suffer for many years before having it removed. And now what I do is I create videos. I'm trying to create a series, a blueprint, if you will, using my own experience, using research, using hindsight to try and help people through whatever it is that they're going through, whether that be a physical battle, a mental battle, an emotional battle, a spiritual battle. I can't guarantee success, but I can guarantee that I'll give you as much information as possible and hopefully raise your odds exponentially with regards to finding some form of harmony within once more. So the first 10 episodes, they were all related to digesting what it is that we're experiencing. The denial, the acceptance, the research, the understanding, the finding a support network, etc. And now we're moving on to the more practical side of things, giving ourselves the best chance of getting through what it is that we're getting through. So today it's going to be realistically just introducing the next 10 episodes. I will be speaking about the body today and giving your body its best chance to become a hospitable environment for you to heal whatever it is that you're going through. But I will also touch on addiction. I will touch on the mental battle, the emotional battle, the spiritual battle. And today I'm going to bring you on a day with me, really, because it's about to be 29 degrees out today. It's currently 9 a.m. You can hear the eggs cooking in the background. I'm going to make myself a little bit of lunch, a bit of egg, a bit of tuna, maybe some dates. I'm going to have a couple of supplements now and finish off my morning coffee. And I'm going to do a bit of slacklining today. You might have seen me do that in the past. I'm going to go for a walk and I'm probably going to get into some water at some point. So while I'm doing all of that, I will bring you on the journey of this episode. So yeah, if you're still here and you're getting ready to watch this episode and you haven't subscribed before, it's free to do so and it would help me exponentially. We're rising day by day now. I think we're around 440 today. And yeah, if we could get to the 500 mark soon, that would be fantastic. It would be a really beautiful milestone to hit. And yeah, you know, been putting a lot of effort into this, so I would be greatly appreciative if you could subscribe. But if you are already here and you are subscribed, I love you and welcome back to Symbiotic Vibration. So I won't keep you too long now because this could be a long episode, but yeah, I'm going to cook my stuff and then we'll go for a little walk and I'll bring you with me, eh? So I'll see you soon. Okay, crew. I'm out in the woods. I just finished a long walk. It's now 11 a.m. We're in Ireland and it's 26 degrees, approaching possibly 30 degrees today. So I'm very happy to be outside and I'm feeling very grounded after a long walk. I managed to get some bare feet out as well. So if you'll see behind me, I have my guitar, I have my slackline, and I found a lovely spot just up here where I can set up a slackline rig. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do, and then we'll get into the meat and bones of this episode. But before we do, I just want to let you know that I've been there, you know. I've been in some very intense periods of suffering. It's a part of existence that we all must go through. It's unfortunate and it's fortunate. One, because it's very painful. But also, you know, without the pain, we can't feel love. Without the darkness, we can't have light. And I just want to let you know that your body loves you. Your mind loves you. You may not feel that right now, but they're doing the very best that they possibly can. Your body, your mind, and your soul are all a team. I say this all the time. And it's our jobs to give our bodies and our minds the best chance to replenish, to recover, to restore themselves. And that's what we'll be trying to get at today. So like I said, I'm not going to guarantee results. I'm not going to replace your doctors or your professionals. But what I am going to do is try my best to map out a blueprint for you to hopefully dissolve some of the behavioral patterns that may not be serving you right now and implementing some new behavioral patterns that perhaps will allow you to create a hospitable environment for you to replenish and to recover from whatever it is that you're going through. And this goes for everybody, you know, not just recovering from something severe, but just in general. You know, we need to look after ourselves. So yeah, let me get set up. I'm really happy that it's beautiful today. And yeah, I'll see you soon. All right, crew, I just got the slackline set up there, so we're good and tight. I'm going to play you a little song now because I'm learning a chant. It's a cover of a chant from a man called Krishna Das called Saraswati. And I have a funny idea for a reel today, so I'm learning that song. and I'm also creating this episode, and I'm also slacklining, trying to create a reel and stuff. So I'm going to play that song now, and then we'll get cracking. It's only 1 minute long anyway, but it's beautiful. Okay, so let's get set up. The microphone is going to be a little bit distant because we're doing a song. Hopefully it goes well. Om Aim Saraswati Nama Om Aim Saraswati Nama Saraswati, That's so fun. That's so fun. What a beautiful song. So, I'm going to get set up here. And yeah, let's get cracking. The midgets are out again. Hopefully I don't get eaten alive. I've not brought pants once again. Quick obligatory balance before we begin. Everything is all about balance. And that's what we'll be learning today. Not to balance on a slackline, but to balance ourselves. To balance our nutrition, our sleep, our supplementation, our meditation, everything else in between. Balance our nervous systems. Learning how to breathe. Learning how to spend time outside around neutral, natural vibrations like these trees here that bring it all back down to baseline for us. So let's get cracking. Let's get cracking. Let me see what we're looking at here. I hope you liked my slacklining. I have a whole episode on slacklining if you want to go back and watch it. Finding balance while balancing. It's a beautiful day here. It's not as sunny as I had anticipated. The sun is behind some clouds, which is, it's not so bad. I would have preferred a bit of sun. If you find yourself here, you're looking for some support, some information with regards to what it is that you're going through, I just want you to know that Symbiotic Vibration has been created in order to create a support network, trying to connect people who wish to support one another along their journeys. So hopefully there's already people here that can help you, but if not, feel free to join. I'll try my best. That's what I'm doing with these videos. I always message back to comments and direct messages on social media and emails if you do need to keep it private. But if you do find yourself here, I just want to let you know that that's already a positive thing. Not just because you're here at Symbiotic Vibration, but because you're watching a video that's trying to help you. Which means you want to recover, you want to find help, you want to find harmony within. And that's a fantastic thing. So well done you. Well done you. That's already a really nice starting point. And you know, we're talking about getting ourselves ready. We're talking about creating a hospitable environment. And for us to do that, we need to already know what our environment is right now. We need to map out all of our behavioural patterns and what our life looks like right now. I do this often. I do this literally a couple of times a month. Never mind when I need to recover, because it keeps me in check. I'm not perfect. I have patterns that I'm working on all of the time. And when those patterns dissolve, there'll be new ones. It's a constant balance, much like this slackline. And so I get an A2 pad.
You could get anything you want, a diary, a phone, whatever it is, something that you can write in. Usually I'll put a circle with Evan's life written in it. Maybe I'll put that on the top of a page and I'll underline it. And then I'll write down all of the patterns that I'm happy with retaining, that are supporting my journey. And then I will write down any patterns that I feel are draining me and are taking from my journey here. And that's, more often than not, could be quite balanced, you know. It's difficult to live life down here on planet Earth, aka Spirit School. Now in the past, there'd be pretty much 99% maladaptive patterns and then a couple of good ones, but now things are going well. But if you're writing down your patterns and your life, you know, start with the basics. How's your sleep? Are you sleeping enough? What does it look like for you to go to bed? Do you have to watch something to go to sleep? Do you have to listen to something to go to sleep? Can you sleep? Can you feel safe within your mind while you relax before you go to sleep? How is your morning routine? What do you do when you wake up? Do you stretch? Do you do breathing? Do you drink water, salt, lemon? Do you read? Do you write? Or do you look at your phone immediately? Do you smoke immediately? Do you drink coffee immediately? And be honest with yourself. What does it look like throughout the day? Do you do enough exercise? Are you happy with the amount of walking that you do, of stretching that you do, of exercise that you do? Are you happy with your nutrition? Do you think that your nutrition is supporting your healing journey? Do you have any form of spiritual practice? Are you happy with them? Would you like more? Do you seek professional help? Do you seek guidance? Are you already in the hands of professionals, or are you just winging it? And so on. I'm not going to tell you what your behavioural patterns are and how you're nourishing your body and what you're doing, but you have to be the one to do that yourself and to be totally honest and upfront with yourself. It's a beautiful exercise. It's triggering, no doubt, because you have to see your life in front of you. But it helps you to identify what you need to change. And this is massive. If you're going through something severe right now, whatever that is, you're going to have to give yourself the best chance possible. So you're going to have to be as honest as possible with yourself. And I'm not perfect. When I was suffering with a brain tumour, I have lots of diary entries, as you probably know by now, that I read sometimes. I don't have it with me, but you know, I was still smoking at times. I was still drinking at times. I was still taking cocaine at times. I was watching a lot of screens. Most certainly in the beginning, while I was in denial, I was hiding from my own mind as much as I could in fear. But slowly but surely I would begin to rectify some of these behavioural patterns. I started to swim, I started to walk every day, I started to try and do things to keep my day busy and regular. I played a lot of music, I did a lot of writing, I did a lot of meditating and breathing. And then I still found time for my movies and playing some poker or whatever it was that I wanted to do at that point. But I tried my best to give myself a great chance of surviving. And I definitely could have done a lot better in hindsight, but I did my best. And that's why I'm making this series, because I have hindsight and I have research, I have understanding. And so, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Document. Get your diary. Get your A2 pad. Get your phone out. Figure out what it is that you feel like you're happy with currently within your life, within your healing journey. Figure out what it is that you feel you need to change. And then begin to make plans to implement those changes. Maybe you need some help. Maybe you need to go to an addiction counsellor. Maybe you need to see some therapists. Maybe you need to go to some doctors. Maybe you need to see some physical therapists. Maybe you need to do a mobility therapist. It could be anything. I'm not going to tell you what that is. And slowly but surely, we will begin to replace some of these more maladaptive patterns with patterns that support us, with behaviours that support us. And this isn't a marathon, or this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Consistency is key here. You know, recovery isn't falling behind either. It may seem that way while you're ill, I know that for sure, but you know, by recovering, we're actually giving ourselves more time and more space to heal, which will inevitably be a positive thing for our future. And I think that's misunderstood these days. We're all in the rat race running so fast. But look, we'll be here all day if I don't finish this section, so I'll finish this section right now and we'll move on. I'll probably do most of this video here, to be honest, and then I'm going to go down for a swim. I don't know what I just saw happen there, but it was pretty interesting. Yeah, thank you. Okay, crew, back in the car for a little break. Oh, that's so good. So, now that we've mapped out our lives, how it is that we're handling ourselves, feeding ourselves, how we're sleeping, how often we're using screens, how often we're exercising, stretching, etc. At least we know now where we're at. We're not criticizing ourselves in any way, shape or form, by the way. We're giving ourselves love. We're being nice to ourselves. Life is very difficult as is, never mind while you're suffering. Just balancing life here on planet Earth, aka Spirit School, is extremely difficult. So you're doing a good job. Your body loves you, your mind loves you, I love you, and all of us at Symbiotic Vibration love you. But if we are going to make changes, let's talk about them while I eat my lunch. Excuse me. So, let's talk about fueling your recovery. Your nutrition. Now, I'm not a nutritionist, and I would say before you go into altering your nutrition, I would do a lot of research, digest as much information as possible with regards to what it is that you're going through right now. You know, if that's some form of anxiety disorder, there are diets that can support that. If it's a cancer or some sort of tumour or something that you're going through that's physical like that, you're probably going to need a very anti-inflammatory diet. Probably low carb. But again, do the research. If you can't access enough information to make you feel confident, go and find somebody who studies. Go and find somebody who's qualified to train you, to teach you what it is that you need. And start to establish a diet that works for you. You know, I think the most important thing with nutrition is to try things. Listen to your body. I've said it all the time. But your body knows best. Listen to how your body feels while it's eating. And while it's eating what you're eating. If you get some advice from a nutritionist but the food doesn't suit you, you're going to have to try something else. But you'll find what works. You'll find a diet that works for you. Boiled eggs, they're a massive part of my diet. But you know, eradicate all the processed foods, all the processed sugar. Realistically, if we stick to fruit, vegetables, protein, fat, and some carbs that are from a healthy source, everything should be okay. It's hard to go wrong. But obviously, Jesus, egg is good. Do the research. Go and speak to nutritionists if you need to. And just that alone, just fixing your diet alone will be massive for your recovery. To allow your body to enter a state of parasympathetic or a parasympathetic state. Because our gut is what causes around 80% of our disease. So if we have a clean gut, more than likely we will have a clean mind, clean body. So that's a good starting point. Moving on from there, sleep. Sleep is up there at the top. Obviously we need food to live, we need water to live. Sleep, it's vital. If you're going through something physical right now, or mental or emotional, spiritual, you need sleep. You need as much sleep as you can possibly get. Now, bear in mind, if you're going through something that's causing your sleep to be disrupted, I understand what that feels like. I had a brain tumor. My sleep was awful. But do the best you can. And again, do the research. Go and research.
as much information as you can about sleeping while you're going through what it is that you're going through. Perhaps you need some melatonin. Perhaps it's the food that you need. Maybe you need to stop eating a couple of hours before you go to bed so that your body's not digesting, so it's not overworking itself. But again, be doing the research. Don't take everything I say for gospel. I'm not a professional. I'm just giving you advice from my own experience. But sleep is so important. Do you need to watch screens before you go to bed? So it's unhealthy. You need to give yourself an hour, at least. Now, I'm saying that, I don't do that all the time. But while you're suffering, give yourself the best chance. I would use the last hour of my day just to breathe. By the way, I'm eating dates. Breathe, reflect, read. Reading makes me very tired. But trying to dial in your sleep. So now you have your diet, then you have your sleep. And by the way, you don't have to do all this in one day. Atomic habits, like I said at the start. Making small changes every day is massive. It accumulates. Compound interest. You're talking about a lifetime of work here. And if and when you do get better, you will have these skills going forward and this information. If you need any more advice, let me know. I'm in the car and it's very warm and I'm just rambling on here. Hydration. Key. The first thing you do when you wake up, drink water. I usually have a litre of water when I wake up in 2 separate pint glasses. I have a pint of water, then I have some salt, and then I have another pint of water. Sometimes I'll have some lemon, depending. Hydrate immediately. If you're someone who likes your coffees, most certainly wait. Have your water first, give yourself half an hour, 45 minutes, do a stretch, do some breathing, have your coffee. That way you won't be attacking your nervous system immediately. Though I would say, research coffee too. You know, coffee spikes our adrenaline gland, our adrenal glands, and puts us into a sympathetic state of mind, fight or flight sometimes, because it's a stimulant. And so when we're in recovery mode, it might not necessarily be needed. So do keep an eye on that one as well. This apple is great. And so this is the fuel we're talking about here, you know. The food, the hydration, the sleep, how to fuel the body, supplementation. So again, not up to me. I like to use magnesium. I like to use vitamin B1. I like to use potassium. I like to use fish oils and some other depending. But again, do some research. There might be supplements that could aid your recovery depending on what you're going through. So go and find those too. Maybe you won't need them. Maybe your diet is locked in, but more than likely supplementation will help a lot. Go to a health food store locally. They might have so much information for you. And this will give us a very solid foundation to build from. Once you nail those things, then you can bring in your exercise and your mobility work, your walking, whatever it is that you're doing. We'll talk about that next. I'm going to go find somewhere else. I'll jump in, get a little dip into some water somewhere. And we'll finish this up then. You know what, this is really just an introduction. I'm going to be going over all of these things in grave detail over the next 9 episodes. So I'm just trying to give you a brief synopsis of what we'll be talking about now. But there's plenty of information that could be useful within this episode also. So, yeah, next we'll talk about filling your day with behavioral patterns and activities that are much more supportive and healthy for you, rather than things like doom scrolling on your phone or just sitting there watching movies all day long, distracting yourself from your own mind and your own body because you're living in fear and these emotions. Fear and anger, shame, guilt, very low vibrational frequencies that will only make our environment much more inhospitable. So the idea around the sleep and the hydration and the food and the exercise and whatever else you're doing, your breathing, your yoga, your meditation, your mobility. All of these things are allowing our nervous system to relax and allowing our body the best chance, our mind the best chance of recovery. And that's what we'll talk about next, trying to replace these patterns and these behaviors that you're not happy with more supportive things. So, I'm going to finish up my lunch here and go find a place to swim, and then we'll finish up this episode. Very casual. So let me know if you're still watching this, if this is a good episode. I don't know. I'm just here doing it, man. I love you though. I love you all. You're amazing if you're still here. I'll see you soon. Oh God. Well, look, I hope this isn't overexposed. It might well be with the sun. Oh, that's lovely. So I forgot to bring my spare clothes, so you're not going to get any nude shots of me in the water. But before I start to talk about developing this new routine that you're going to be looking into, finding stillness and tuning into your emotions is the most important part, almost. If you go back through this series, you'll know about that. I think that's why we try to control the diet, control the sleep, control the hydration, control the screen time, so that we can feel better within ourselves, better enough to deal with our own minds and our own emotions, even if we're in pain. So that's where journaling comes in very handy. That's where therapy comes in handy, seeing professionals, speaking to loved ones, finding stillness within nature, like this. Sitting down, feet in the water, grounded. I'll sit here for a half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. Just let the emotions flow. You might need to cry. You might need to let the anger turn into sadness and let the sadness dissolve. You might have energy and emotion that you've been storing in your body for your whole life. And throughout your life, many different experiences that you need to allow to flow. But in order for them to flow, we need to give them time and we need to give them attention. We need to live directly and stop distracting ourselves. We're in a world right now where distraction and attention is the number one currency. We need to be aware of this as a collective, on an individual basis also. You know, I've been on my deathbed before. And knowing what it feels like to be on a deathbed, I don't want to get to another one thinking I spent most of my days on my phone and not sitting in a stream crying and thinking about my emotions and how I could give my body and my mind its best chance. So these things are very important, and I would start off your day with space. Some quick stretching, some quick breathing, even if it's 5 minutes. Just breathe, stretch, and let your body relax. Let your mind relax. Let whatever needs to come in and out of your mind come in and out of your mind. Don't hit the phone immediately, because you're only going to overstimulate your mind and fill it with imagery and fill it with loads of nonsensical information. And for the rest of your day, you'll be trying to decipher what it is that's going on in your mind, because it's so full from the get-go. You're just in a hyper-aroused state of mind. Start off slow. Stretch, breathe. Put your feet on the ground, on the grass, if you can. Do your stretching and your breathing outside. If it's raining, that's okay. Put some rain on your skin. Go for a walk. Even if it's for 10 minutes. Do some writing. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. Write down your feelings, write down your emotions, write down your plan for the day. Hydration. And then breakfast whenever you want to eat. It's a pretty simplistic morning routine. You can add to that, you can take from it. Do whatever you want. These are just a bare minimum advice from me. And then when we think about patterns, you know, I can give you examples of mine. Even now, I still
have patterns that I'm trying to deal with, behaviors. But when I was ill, I said this already, but I had to quit smoking. I had to stop drinking, stop doing cocaine. I had to stop mindlessly looking at Instagram, and there was no TikTok back then, but I stopped and deleted all my social media accounts. One, because I couldn't stand looking at people being happy, and two, because it was doing nothing for me. Clean up the diet. Look after the sleep as much as possible, and then it was implementing swimming, walking, things that I could do that would make me feel better, writing, creating, music, etc. And then there was some fun around it. Obviously, if you're ill, sometimes you're going to want comfort food. Sometimes you're going to want to watch a movie. That's okay. I'm not telling you to be 100% perfect. I'm just telling you to try your best and to keep showing up. And so let's finish it up here, because I don't want this episode to be too long and I'm enjoying myself. But I think when we're looking out for our physical health, our mental health and emotional health, our spiritual health, maybe you're not spiritual, maybe you are. For me, I like to meditate. I like to breathe. I like to pray. I like to connect. I like to feel connected to everything around me. Those are very important parts of my day. It makes me feel like I have purpose. It makes me feel like I'm being looked after and I'm being guided. When we look after all of these things, it will make it easier. And that's what this episode is all about. Now, I'm going to go into detail on everything for the next 8 episodes or so. This is really just an introduction to the second part of the series, as I mentioned. If you have any questions, do let me know. But don't be hard on yourself. It's really difficult, and you're doing the best you can. Your body is, your mind is, and you are. Take your time. Create atomic habits, minute changes, and they will compound over time. If you have any difficulty with it, seek help, seek professional help. Seek help here, comment section. I'll help. There's more than enough people here that will help as well. So we'll leave it at that for today. This episode was a bit ad hoc. I'm aware of that. But just know that I love you and I support you. And I'm here with you. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. I hope this wasn't too overexposed. We will see. Goodbye. I'll see you in the next one.